Hello, everyone. It's Alana Wakeman from the Forest and Bridge Real Estate Group at Remax Real Estate Center. And I am here today with Chris, also known as Butcher Boy on Instagram, from Chris's Country Cuts. Hi, Chris.
Hi, how are you? Thank you for having me.
I'm great, and thank you for being on.
My pleasure.
So let's jump in. Tell me more about your business. Tell me more about Chris's Country Cuts.
Okay, well, we started 24 years ago, I believe. We came out of a Biz 257 project at Western that my wife was going through to get her degree after all the kids went back to school. And at Biz 257, you have to basically open a business. You have to have a business plan. You have to arrange for financing, not that you're signing on the bottom line, but you have to arrange it so that you know it. All the things that go into opening a business. You have to find out how much your equipment is and project sales and the whole 9 yards. They got an 80 on it. I think they should bell that mark because, we're still here after 25 years now.
Go back
so
and
they could probably give us better mark than that. But nonetheless, we opened up in Bellemere out in Hyde Park.
Okay.
Way back when it was an actual market. We approached them. Turned out that both my wife and I went to school with the owners and the owner's family, which we didn't know at the time. So I walked in and kind of said, well, why don't you do fresh meat? You have everything else. No, we don't know anything about it. And I said, well, pick me, I do. And so they did. And we opened our first butcher shop there, had it for a couple of years. Then we opened at the market when they rebuilt in 99, I believe it was. So we did that, ran the two for a while. And then Bellemere kind of went sideways. There were some issues with ownership and whatnot. And we left there and just had the market, which was good because it made leaving Bellemere very simple.
Yeah.
We just walked out, sold the equipment and walked out the door. And we've been at the market since they rebuilt. We'd have 22 years now, I think, in October. So there we are. We tend to do as much local product as we possibly can.
Amazing.
Obviously, things like the Australian Wagyu strip loins are not local, but all the other beef is, and all the products are. We have one supplier for every single product that we have. So then even with the chicken, and the chicken supplier deals with different farms, but I know who all the farms are, and I've been to most of them, and so I can see what their practices are, so I can make sure that, I'm not selling something that I'm not comfortable with. So we have a lamb supplier in Tempsford. We have a beef supplier in Norwich. We have a chicken supplier in Paris, Ontario, that kind of thing. We have one for everybody.
Yeah, that's amazing because you're not getting that at big box stores.
Heck no.
Not even close. And I think at this point, most people have probably seen or at least heard or read an article about these big factory farms and the impact on the animals and on the workers and on the farmers and on the environment sometimes too. So it's so important to be supporting local, ethical, smaller scale.
And that's what we try to do. And everything that we do is cut at the store.
Nice. Very
Nothing
nice.
is, so the ground is ground as we need it that day. Right? So we may have a tub of stuff to grind, cut ahead, but we cut it on our 3 little blocks that are there. So everything is done in-house. We don't have anybody do anything for us, the meat pies, but even that's a local guy on Hamilton Road that does the meat pies. So everything is as much in-house and local as we can possibly make it.
Very cool. So how did you learn your butchering skills then? Does it sound like that was the original path?
Fun little story. I was not a great student. I didn't want to be in school. So when I was in grade 12, I started working part-time at the butcher shop at Sullivan's Old North Market, Corner Maitland, Sheepside. Unfortunately, not there anymore. And cleaning the grinder, sweeping the floors, all that, scraping the blocks, all that kind of thing. I went away in the summer to be a lifeguard, which everybody should do once.
Such a great about that before.
Yeah, it's so much fun.
Yes.
And when I came back after the second summer, the other butcher had been let go. The second butcher had been let go. And the guy said, well, do you want to be a butcher? And I said, well, I don't want to go to school. So sure. I started working after school for him, and then on Saturdays. And then the day I left school, January or June 29th, whatever year, 1980, I believe, I started full time on the next day. Wow. And I've been doing it ever since. So that was 42 years ago, give or take a day. So I've been doing it a long time, and he trained me. Now, at the time, there was one butcher school at George Brown College. Okay. But we looked at it, and the government had programs where they reimbursed him to train me instead of sending me away to school. So we weighed the pros and cons, decided that it was probably better if he trained me than if I go away to school, because then I'm getting on-job training. And just because you passed a course at George Brown doesn't mean you actually know which end of the knife to hang on to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Doesn't really mean that.
No,
and
you have a piece of paper.
Everybody does it a little bit differently.
Yeah.
So we thought if I come back after doing that, he's going to have to retrain what he doesn't like about what they taught me.
Right.
Right. So we decided to do that. So I just started working. Things come around in a great big giant circle. He now works for me part-time. Nice. Because he wants to keep his thumb in it, and you know, he doesn't want to work full-time by any means. He's older than I am, and I don't want to work full-time. So so it's come full circle that he now works for me, and it's nice that you can walk in and say, okay, I'm not here today. You're on, go. And everything will get done, and he knows how to do it and all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
So the cool part is, especially with Instagram now, there are so many butchers online, and most of my people that I follow and that follow me are meat cutters around the world. And there are a lot of young guns coming up that have some really, really cool ideas of how to do things. So I follow them and I watch them and I go, okay, well, that's kind of a neat idea, you know, and I didn't know that I knew how to do that, but I can do that. So, you know, we can get some new ideas of what to do for the counter and keep things fresh, as it were.
That's great. That's amazing. So you've got all the experience and the skills, but you're using social media to be inspired and stay on top of the trends
and try and learn. And they've come up with an Olympics of butchering, actually.
Oh, cool.
The World's Butchers Challenge. It's held every 2 years. It was supposed to be in 2020 in Sacramento. So I had tickets. I was going. I was like, this is awesome. I'll go support Team Canada.
Yeah.
So Canada had a team this year for the first time. I did not try out because I thought, while I'm skilled enough, I don't have the creativity that is required to maybe do what needs to be done for that level of competition, because some of the things that they come up with for that thing are just amazing. They're absolutely amazing stuff. But I was going to go support them. So I had tickets. My buddy and I were going to go, and off we went. Well, that didn't happen. So it's been postponed till 2022. Yeah. So I'll have to rebuy my tickets, I think.
Yes. Like so many things in 2020 that were supposed to happen.
So many things. I had an awesome year all lined up. Yeah, none of it happened. Oh, well. Just like everybody else, though. Everybody has that sob story. So.
Oh, yeah. There's no one who hasn't been impacted in some way.
No, nobody at all. Yeah.
But especially small business owners, and they've all had to basically do a pivot. So you introduced a new service this year.
We did.
You're located downtown at Covent Garden Market, but you added delivery.
We did. We had been considering it for a while, and had just never gotten around to figuring out the pros and cons and the logistics of it all. And then COVID hit. The market stayed closed for 2 weeks. I felt that wasn't safe enough, that it wasn't fair and safe for my customers, our families, my employees. Nobody. So we stayed closed for 2.5 months. And the only way we could survive and do that was to deliver. So we started going in, Bob, my mentor, and myself 3 days a week in the morning, because I knew that it's just him and his wife, and they're not going anywhere, not doing anything. So, okay, so he's safe and I'm doing the same thing. So I'm safe. So we can be there and work together. And in the afternoon, my wife and I would drive all over the city, and literally all over the city, and deliver product. And it went over very, very well. It was great bonding time with my wife and I.
Nice country drive every day. Nice Sunday drive every day.
Yeah. And of course she's driving because I've got to lug the bags. Yeah. So it was awesome. But it worked out really, really well. Kept us afloat, kept us, so we didn't have to look for any subsidies or anything else. We were quite able to maintain the way we were going. And then we reopened in June. The market said, okay, everybody has to be back by June. Mm-hmm. So we reopened in June, and we now continue to deliver since June, twice a week. So Wednesdays and Friday afternoons. If I can sneak out, I do. Otherwise, my wife does it. So again, we go in, we do all the orders, we fill the counters, we get everything ready for the day's business of walk-in customers, mm-hmm. and we do all those orders and send them out all over the city.
Amazing.
So, yeah, it's worked out very well for us.
Amazing.
Quite happy with it.
The resiliency of the business owners, I mean, worldwide, obviously, but the ones that I know here in the city, it's been incredible to see how everyone, and I mean, I know it's out of necessity, but how everyone's really kind of made the best of it and chosen to, as much as possible, look at it as a positive thing and just another way you can expand and grow. So, well,
and that's sort of how we approached it. We thought, okay, well, we were going to do this. We either close and then reopen when we don't feel we're ready or it's safe enough to, or whatever the term you want to use, or we can deliver. So we can do this anyways. And it turned out to be a positive for us. The resiliency of some of the people downtown has just been absolutely amazing. And I'm sure the rest of the city is exactly the same way, but that's my little bubble. So that's what I know better than I know Northridge, for example.
Yeah.
I am friends with and deal with a fair amount of restaurant owners. Mm-hmm. We don't actually supply them, but we know each other. We appreciate what each other is doing, respect each other. Mm-hmm. And some of these guys have just been amazing in what they've managed to do to keep themselves going.
Yeah.
And it's truly amazing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I know one restaurant, they were saying, like, obviously there's the third party delivery apps and they serve a purpose too, and they employ people too. So I get it. But the one restaurant was like, we've actually taken all of our servers and basically turned them into delivery people if they wish to do so, to keep them employed, so we can keep them going when everything was like fully shut down and you couldn't really go in. So
yeah, well, you look at some of the percentages that some of those delivery companies are making, and they cannot afford to pay it.
Yeah.
Right. Well, like when the market closed for 2 weeks, one of the vendors next to me was paying Uber 30%. Mm-hmm. And I said, you're not making any money. Like, you can't make any money that. No. Well, I have no choice. I said, well, yeah, you do. You've got a son, you've got a daughter, you've got in-laws. Mm-hmm. You recruit everybody you can to do the deliveries for you. That's why my wife and I did it. We can't afford to give 30% to a delivery company. There's just not enough money there.
No, the margins are too slim.
Especially in my industry and the restaurant industry, the margins are not big enough to be able to afford to do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it'd be nice if they were, but
sure.
So, it's not jewelry with a huge markup. You can't do that.
Yeah.
So anyway, so we've managed to do it. We managed to survive. Mm-hmm. Our deliveries are not where they were during the summer, obviously, because people are able to come into the store. And we've seen a lot of people come back, and so that's great, because I like to see them. You don't get to see them when you knock on the door and run back to the car with your mask
and wave from the vehicle.
Yeah, kind of waves, and there they go, or text them, your delivery's here, so gotta go. So it's worked out really well for us. We're quite happy with it.
Good. I'm glad. That's an awesome service. We've been doing a lot of delivery of things. I was doing like grocery pickups and stuff anyways before, because we have 2 really small kids and I'm still working. But yeah, we've really tried to support local where we can with the restaurants and whatnot as well too. And the delivery thing is great. I love not having to leave my house.
It's very nice, isn't it? Yeah. Now I personally try and go to the restaurant if I can.
Yeah.
Right. Like I've gone so far as I'm at home, which is in North London, and I'll drive downtown to Garlick's to pick up dinner, to drive it back home and hope it's still warm when we get there. But I'd rather do that than I'll spend my money on the gas and the time.
Yeah.
Versus them having to pay somebody to do it, unless they're going to use their own servers, as you said, but I don't think they are. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense. It makes perfect sense.
I have the time. What the heck? Nothing better to do.
That's fair. So talking about your customers and your relationship with your customers, what would you say is something that they really love about your business?
I think they love, first of all, the fact that we prepare everything on site, that everything is local. I think that's the first and foremost. Mm-hmm. We offer a quality product at a reasonable price. Mm-hmm. We are more expensive than the chain stores. Yes, absolutely. For the difference in quality, I think it's well worth it. Sorry, I'm swatting the cat. Don't scratch the chair. Sorry.
That's okay. I'm surprised mine hasn't wandered right here. So
yeah, well, they won't do that because I'm right at the table. But so they like the fact that we are there every day. They like the fact that they can come shop. For those who live downtown, mostly, they can shop every single day. If they so choose, which is what they do in Europe and whatnot.
Yeah.
You go shopping every day. You have a fridge that's not the size of a house. It's a tiny little thing, and it's the size of most people's wine fridges, really. Mm-hmm. Right? If you have a separate wine fridge in your kitchen, well, that's the size of their normal fridge. Mm-hmm. So they have they like that they can come in and they can buy 2 of these, 1 of those, and if they only want 4 slices of bacon, I'm a happy guy to sell it to them.
Yeah.
I have no problem with that. I think they also, most of them, quite appreciate the back and forth banter that happens. Mm-hmm. We get to know them. You get to know their names. You get to know their likes and their dislikes. And we've had them come in and they say, "Well, I want that roast there," and I will say, "No, you don't. You can't. you don't like that roast. You've had it before. You didn't like it.
Yeah.
This is the roast that you want, and I'll point out the other one." Yeah. And they trust you to sell them that roast that they do like. Yeah. They trust you to give them advice on cooking and purchasing and the whole gamut. Mm-hmm. And I think they quite like that because you don't get that at a chain store.
No.
The 16-year-old kid behind the counter, you ask him a question, he's going to go, "Huh? What?" Right? And he has no idea.
Yeah.
So they like the fact that they can come in and talk to us and say, "What about this? What about that?" Mm-hmm. I think a large portion of them get to know you as a person versus just the guy who sells them meat.
Yeah.
So I'm more than a butcher. I have 2 other fun jobs, which we didn't even get into earlier.
No.
I teach meat cutting at Fanshawe.
Oh, okay, cool.
Which is really, really cool. Mm-hmm. And so when I said I wasn't much of a student way back when at the beginning of this, I should have been, because I think I would have made a really good teacher. Yes. I think I would have been pretty good at that. But there was nobody in my life at that time to say, "Look, you dummy, just open the book. You'll get 75. You can go to teacher's college. You'll have summers off. You'll have this. You'll have that. You'll have all those things that don't happen when you own your own business." Mm-hmm. Fair enough. That's fine. So I don't regret the way I've approached things and done things. Yeah. But I look back and go, no.
Yeah. That hindsight.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. The other fun job that I have is that I PA announce. Oh. So I'm the in-stadium voice of the Mustangs football team and both our hockey teams.
Amazing.
Yeah. So, and I actually got to do the Argos for a year too, which was really cool. Yeah. So I'm a paid professional. But it was pretty damn cool and a whole lot of fun. But so we have a lot of alumni. We have players that come in, so you can sit, you can talk football with them, and you can chat. And both my boys played football up to high school level, so they played against some of these kids and some of these parents' kids. Yeah. They played with them and against them and whatnot. So there's a whole community there that will be more than happy to stand there and talk football all afternoon. Mm-hmm. I can't quite do that anymore, but so working at Western didn't happen this year, obviously. Another thing that didn't happen. Yeah. But it's awesome because they pay me to talk football.
Yeah.
Right? Here, you sit and watch this game and tell us what's going on. Okay.
Yeah.
And you're going to pay me for this?
Yeah.
Fantastic. This is great. This is awesome. I'll do that.
Yeah.
So I've been doing that for, I think this would have been my 13th season. Wow. With the football team.
Wow. So quite a while.
Yeah, quite a while. They came to me. I've been doing announcing for longer than that. Mm-hmm. I started with the Beefeaters, which is a 19 to 22-year-old league for non-university students. Mm-hmm. And I started with them because our friends were on the board of directors. So my wife and I would go watch football because we both liked football. And the announcer they had was 75 years old, and he was a dear man, but he was not very good. I know. But he would forget to turn the mic off.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Meanwhile, he's standing there talking to the guy beside him.
Yeah.
Or the down box would be right in front of him, would say 2 on it, and he would call it third down, or that kind of thing. Yeah. He's not quite paying attention anymore.
Yeah.
And he was an official, like he was a football official forever. So the next year they didn't ask him back, and I felt so bad. The first year they just called me and said, he can't make it, so you're in. Oh, great. Open my big fat mouth in here. Turned out I'm actually pretty good at it, without breaking my arm to pat myself on the back, but I'm okay at it, I guess, because I've been there 13 years. Yeah. And the guys that CHRW is the radio station at Western, and the guys that were doing football, terrible. At that time, 13 years ago, 14 years ago.
Watching this, I'm not going to get like hate mail here.
I know. Yeah, probably. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
But I called the radio station. I said, how do I get that job?
Yeah.
I said, I've never done it, but I can guarantee you I can do better than that. I said, I understand the game, and I have no idea what's going on when I listen to your broadcast.
Yeah.
No clue.
Yeah.
Like nothing. So how do I get that gig? So they gave me 2 games the next year. It was fine. I did them. And then they were supposed to graduate and move along, and I was supposed to slide in and be the play-by-play guy. And that didn't happen because the one guy was now the head honcho, and he and his buddy wanted to do it. And I said, well, I'm not going to drive to Ottawa because you don't want to.
Yeah.
So I'm good. Thanks. I have a real job. I'm just doing this for fun. So no thanks. And then Mike Lisco was the athletic director at the time, and he sent his guy to talk to me to see if I wanted to take over doing the in-stadium stuff. So I said, sure. I mean, if you're going to hire somebody anyways, it might as well be me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So, I said, well, you have a guy. Well, yeah, And I said, okay, if you're going to hire somebody anyways, I will do it. I don't want him to lose his job because I want to do it.
Yeah.
But if you're going to change anyways, then it might as well be me. So off we went, and we're still doing it. And I'm assuming next year, if there's football, I will be back. So yeah, that's cool. So I have 3 jobs. I have a pretty full life.
Yes, it sounds like it.
Add in 3 kids and 4 grandkids, and well, things are happening. Yeah.
One last question before we wrap up here, because you're such a big part of the community, downtown especially, but I know you've got ties all over town. What are some of your favorite local shops, restaurants, businesses that you'd like to recommend?
Oh, well, downtown, Jill Stable, who just won a Business of the Year award, which is awesome for Jill. Yeah. She does such a super job, and she's so willing to help out other vendors, other businesses and whatnot. Her time is yours if you want it. She's quite willing to help most people out with whatever they need. And she does a super job in store, from her cooking classes to the product that she chooses to sell. It's just she does an amazing job. Also downtown, Garlic's restaurant. We really, really enjoy Garlic's. They do, Ito does a great job, and it's a family business. It's him and his daughter and his wife. And then they have obviously other people that are working for them, but they do a really super, super job. We tend to frequent, sorry, I'm petting the cat. Sorry. We tend to visit Waltzing Weasel, which is up on Adelaide and Windermere.
Oh, I've been there a couple times.
Yep. And we quite like that. They were so nice. They actually sent me an email. They were in the shop buying a couple of steaks a couple of weeks back and sent me an email saying, hi, we missed you. Thanks for supporting us all this time. We're still we when we come back, we hope you'll come back. Well, yeah, you're 5 minutes from me. So yeah, son, no worries. We'll be there. Yep. We'll be there. The market itself is it's an interesting mixture of people and vendors and characters. And I use the word characters in a good sense. Yeah. There are so many different personalities in that place. Now, it's not like the old market where they're hollering back and forth at each other. And the vendor across me, Chris Doris, and we do that. Right. So I'll overhear something as I'm walking by, and I'll throw a shot at him. just as I'm going by. And I think the market itself tends to lend itself to that. I mean, we've got Joel up at Has-Beens, who's a character all unto himself. And if you've never met Joel, you need to.
Okay.
He's a great person to have in your life.
I will add.
And their coffee's super. It's Has-Beens coffee, and they do a great job. But Joel's a character, and he's not everybody's cup of tea, but he's so funny and so giving and such a wonderful person that, you know, he's one of those guys that I'm quite happy is there, because it makes the market more lively and welcoming and all those kind of things that you needed to have.
Absolutely.
The market itself is awesome. We're quite happy. Obviously, we've been there. We keep re-signing a lease, so we're we've been there for 22 years now, I guess. So, you know, every 3 years, sign on that bottom line, and away you go for another 3 years. So yeah, I like the market. It's quite fun. We have a good time.
Yeah. And it's a good spot because you can pick up literally everything you need. All
just
like
about.
items,
just about.
Stuff.
There are even the lottery booth, we call it, still sells some grocery items.
Yeah.
You know, paper towels and stuff. So you can almost get everything.
Yeah.
Just about. And what you can't get there, Shoppers Drug Mart probably has just around the corner.
Yeah, exactly.
So, you know, for Shoppers Drug Mart.
I lied when I said one more question before.
Okay.
One more question now. What are some of your favorite products that you carry, or some specialty products? Because you were saying. Oh,
well, I mentioned earlier, I don't know if it was off camera or on camera, but we have Australian Wagyu beef, which is the third best Wagyu steak in the world. A quick education. Wagyu is the breed. The two best Wagyu breeds come out of Japan. So there's the Kobe, which everybody knows. There's one better than that, which is called Olive.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, see, there you go. And then there's the Aussies, are third. And then there's Snake River in the States, which is fourth. And then there's everybody else. It doesn't matter. It's Wagyu beef. It's very good. It's really nice, but it's not those guys. Yeah. So we started doing Australian Wagyu Father's Day last year. And I was fortunate. There was one steak left. Shucks darn. So we tried it. We had to, I like to say I've eaten everything in my counter. Yeah. So we tried it, and it's amazing stuff. It's not for everybody. It's very expensive. Yeah. But we thought, well, we'll try it, and it goes. You know, we haven't lost any money on it, so it sells frozen, which is great. So you can cut the steaks, throw them on the counter. If they don't sell, you backpack them, throw them in the freezer, and then slowly but surely get rid of them. So that's all great. We do 23 now varieties of sausage in-house. We have 2 chicken, 2 turkey, 3 beef, 8 or 10 pork, 2 lamb. Like, we have something for everybody and every taste bud. We have Bob's Original. So, okay, again, my mentor. When I left there, I didn't know his sausage recipes. They were a secret. That's fine. I came up with my own. I got to within a quarter of a tablespoon of sugar over 15 pounds. Oh, wow. So virtually the same sausage. Yeah. We had one lady said, I like Bob's better. Okay. So we sold her Bob's. Yeah. And then we changed the name from Mild Italian to Bob's. Sales picked up by 20%, even though it's still the same sausage. That's funny. And I am not so egotistical that I need to have my name on it. If you want to buy it because it says Bob's on it, okay, great, no problem. Here you go. So we've got that, and we've got a chorizo which sells really, really well. Oh, very spicy, very hot. If you like hot stuff. Yep. We've got 2 lambs. The lamb with feta and orzo is incredible. Ooh. Love that one. Orzo right in the sausage. Yeah, yeah, cool. Okay. Yeah. It's a really good sausage. Yeah. I quite like that one. So we've got 23. We just started our chicken pineapple on the weekend, which is why I say now we have 23, because that was the 23rd one. And that's what Instagram is great for. I can follow these guys all over the place that are coming up with all these great ideas on what to put in a sausage, because you can put anything you want. You can put it into a sausage. Now, the nice part about ours is that there's no fillers, there's no additives, there's no preservatives, except a little bit of salt. Salt technically is a preservative. So that's it. Amazing. So it's the rest of it is all good stuff. Yeah. But that's what I think what sets us apart from most other butcher shops. Yeah. Are those things. The extra touches, the extra varieties. Yeah. You're not going to get anywhere else. Yeah. Yeah. So there you go.
Very cool. Well, thank you so very much. It was great to talk to you, and I definitely learned more about you and some fun trivia facts and about
I
the.
can't shut up sometimes. I tend to overtalk. Sorry.
No, no, no. That's okay. That's okay. I think all my interviews at this point have become like 30-minute conversations, not 5-minute interviews. So
Did I
that's
break the
good because
30-minute mark?
I
I might have.
want people to know you, not just walk by the counter and be like, yeah, it's a butcher place, and then but they
Yeah.
know
Oh,
you.
there's that guy. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, thank you. I appreciate the opportunity.
Yes,
It
yes,
was
I'm
great.
I'm very happy you reached out and wanted to be interviewed. So everyone, if you would like to get in touch with Chris or check out his wares, what obviously down at Covent Garden Market,
Yep.
but website
We
is
are open Monday to Saturday, 8 to 6, every day, almost. You can check out the website, and if you want delivery, the order form is on the website. There's a link right on the front page, takes you right to the order page.
Mhm.
So that's www.chriscountrycuts.com. You can give us a call, 519-673-1539. Any or all of the above. Happy to see you in the store.
Perfect. And all
Yeah.
the contact information will be at the bottom of this interview, as well as a business listing on the page, so you can always search for Chris's Country Cuts, and there will be a business listing in the directory too. So, Chris,
Perfect.
thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful day, and to everyone watching, thank you again for watching and supporting our local businesses here in London.